go with Boom before he Alex's.
Is better?
And this would be a
Hello?
situation where, as the warrior, you might look at your hand and think,
Better? Worse?
okay, my
Better?
out here
Worse?
is I'm going to Alex him in the face. Hit him with the
Long.
face.
Played guy and
Whip
3
an
of his
axe
first
next
4
turn,
cards
keep
will
hitting him in the
have
face
first.
and hope to just grom him out.
It's gonna smork him down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to see Alex there, so then you could try and get the boombots to get some additional face damage. Because now if the boombots hit face,
Is it
they're
really
actually
laggy?
accomplishing nothing.
Right. I think he's hoping there's no answer to this 7-7. Maybe
Yeah,
he gets like
pretty evil.
Aldored, or maybe he can force out a clear already. That's not going to happen. And
Well,
he
I
was
think
hoping
that if I
potentially, like, they can
was
Alex him
myself a
in.
midfielder,
He's just
there
gonna.
must
There's
be
no reason not
jumps.
to
No,
just
no.
swing into this thing. Is there?
It really
Wait.
isn't.
Yeah, you
Is
can
it
just
me?
kill it with your.
You can actually just
Is
kill
it
it with your
me?
face.
I don't
and
think it is
the shielded
me.
mini bot.
Yeah. Then you just play antique heal bot and just heal back up
Well,
the
then-
damage.
Well, not yet.
No, you don't play heal
Well,
bot.
like eventually.
After
Right.
the
Yeah, yeah.
Alex, after the
Being
Alex.
at 22 versus
Yeah.
being at 29
Eventually, the
is
antique
very
heal bot.
non-relevant.
I've got 0 viewers now, apparently.
Yeah, so I think
Ah.
that's the correct line, is just to take it to the face, and it looks like that's what he's going to do.
Yep.
You reckon?
You can tell Demigod's
The
really
bill rates.
experienced with not only Paladin, but this
Good
matchup.
answer.
As long as he doesn't heal bot here.
Right. Well, I think so far he's played just great.
Yeah, I've been.
So I see no reason to believe he's like going to mess up
No,
here.
there's no
Yeah, I
stream.
don't know. He keeps scaring me. He keeps mousing over the heal bot.
I think he's thinking
I'm
about
so
the zombie
confused
shout
what's
here,
going on.
actually.
Yeah.
What is going
Yeah,
on?
pretty much thinking like this thing's never gonna get value.
Might as well just get it out.
Try to get an axe charge off of it.
Sure.
I think first of all, yeah.
Oh,
Sarah's pretty big
think
top
I
deck.
found myself a
Is there a sort of the
shoulder.
thing that you play after everything else in the
Is
set?
Is
After
it alright?
everything's gone, yeah.
Is it working okay?
Neither equality has been taken out.
Try back, I need to
Alright,
done.
well, if that's the worst answer you have as the paladin, you're not unhappy.
What's he gonna get? Emerald Drake.
Emerald Drake's pretty good because, I mean, it dies to Big Game Hunter, but you can't Big Game Hunter literally everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another big threat.
Right. And a 7-6, very much better than Laughing Sister here.
Yeah.
And the situational spells, I mean, maybe a Sarah Awakens would have been really nice, but Emerald Drake you can't be unhappy with.
Kind of a clunky hand from Demigod.
Yeah, that Ysera off the top was actually really important because it gave him
I was thinking of
something
making
to
go on
do
Ysera.
that the paladin feels
Go on Ysera
bad
would be
about
fine.
answering. If
Yeah.
you play Grom or Alex, that's a very easy big game hunter. If you play Alex, it's very easy big game hunter and heal bot. And you basically give the paladin stuff to
that's
play.
bad.
With Ysera, you're looking at equality and then something more
I need someone
even.
else. I need someone else.
Hidden in Guardian of Kings.
And the Drake is just going to give him another thing to play that the paladin has to do something about.
Yeah, he can't Wild Pyromancer equality. Well, I guess he could just Wild Pyromancer equality and then develop a dude. So that
Yeah.
doesn't feel very good.
If you hit this, I think you are healing
Yeah,
because of cards like Ysera Awakens.
Oh,
Or
shit,
Nightmare.
never mind.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ysera Awakens in a Grom.
40% chance you would be dead to Grom, so definitely has to respect that.
Yeah, so now he's got to play around 17 bursts for the rest of the game. As long as that Emerald Drake stays in the hand.
Right.
So do you keep that in your hand, or do you play it as a threat? Do you keep it in the hand just so you force the paladin to play inefficiently, or can you not afford to do that?
You really can't.
Here, it depends on your hand, right? If you have
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things to do, but
Here,
he
it's,
doesn't
here it's,
have much.
it's either that or it's Alex Straza here.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Alex.
Yeah. So he's gonna go with the Drake. And the Drake
I'm gonna
just
be around to watch
barely
the
doesn't
video.
die to this
Bye.
Guardian, so I think this is gonna get the big game hunter out, which is what he's looking to get here.
He held on to the Armor Smith.
But a
Jeez.
second equality is actually really important.
Yeah. So now he has all the answers he needs for upcoming bombs.
I
Right.
like Warrior.
Everything's like
I love me some Warrior.
everything that he
That's
has.
What's
is-
everyone's
yeah.
favourite class
the
in
Warrior
Hearthstone? Does everyone else
Nearly
like
out of stuff.
Warrior?
He probably has maybe one, maybe two more big threats, and maybe something like a Shield Maiden. But yeah, I really like just consecrating
Go on,
here,
do a spell, please.
instead of big game huntering. He knows that's gonna get value.
Then just hero power. You need to save the Wild Pyromancer because it's your activator for equality.
Yeah.
You need to save Big Game Hunter to kill some big game. You gotta save Owl for Sylvanas.
This
Heal
is
bot
pretty
to heal.
perfect
You
from,
leave it another
from
turn?
Demigod because he realizes he's
I
seen
don't know if I can.
Dominus's games. He knows there's double brawl. He knows the
I don't
only
have
way
enough money
really
to be able
that
to.
he's definitely going to lose is if you commit too much, get brawled, and then he plays
Oh,
threats you can't
that was
answer.
nasty.
Yeah. Or you use your removal inefficiently. Like if you
Right.
use a big game hunter in a situation where you didn't have to.
Right, he's been taking damage to his face. He hasn't been very scared. He's just been trying to hold on to things as efficiently as possible,
Oh God.
just in case. The
Quick
worst case
question:
stuff
Is
happens.
commanding shout good in Patron
I'm
Warrior?
so confused why Alex
Um,
has not been coming down.
I've seen
Yeah,
people
you
use it.
have to play it sometime.
I have
It's
seen people
going to
use
get Big
it.
Game Hunter to eventually.
I
Uh,
believe he's out of Cruel Taskmasters as well.
yeah.
it depends. You gotta
Use
play it
both to
properly.
clear one
Usually,
once,
you use
very
commanding
defensively.
shout just for the card
And
draw.
you have to regret that now.
Yeah.
He might have
But-
Baron Geddon and might be trying to
I don't
get
know. I think I
EGH
used
out
it before.
with Baron Geddon in
Oh.
order to pave the way for Alexstrasza.
It could be a
I
possibility.
did use it before.
Not sure though.
I ain't using
The
it in
nice
this
thing
game.
from the Paladin's point of view is now, since we saw that Emerald Drake, you only have to play around 15.
We don't have
And that's
any
if
whirlwind effects.
you think your opponent's Cruel Taskmaster, which I'm pretty sure both have been used.
3, 5, that's
Seen
8.
there
we
was
don't
one
have
on
There's
the other
definitely
side of the
one.
board that came from a pilot
Right, right,
shredder,
right.
so
I know he used
don't
one
want
on
to
a
use up the
1/1,
entirety of a combo.
and I know he cleared off another 1/1 earlier.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm going to assume both are gone. Who knows though? Both players are
need
allowed to take notes,
to-
so that is something he should probably
6,
have noted if it did happen.
1.
Just thinking about whether or not he wants to truce over, since Dominus has been holding on to so many cards like that Brawl, the Shield Slam, and the Alex. And
Yeah.
there's been so many opportunities for Alex to come down, he's maybe thinking, maybe that's the Harrison Jones.
Right. So imagine you true silver here, and you enable the Harrison Jones. That's a 5/4. You no longer have a
Do
weapon
I?
to answer. What do you? How do you answer a 5/4?
Yeah, exactly. So it gives your opponent a turn, and then it also makes your turn really awkward.
It almost goes back to that Gorehowl turn earlier this game, where the Gorehowl was just good for Demigod because it gave him something to play.
You don't want to enable a turn for your opponent, especially when you don't have to, when you see that they don't have anything going for them.
You're
They're just
finding
your
another
bypassing.
question.
Yeah. Armor
Christian?
Smith is just eating off 1/1s,
Oh.
which to Demigod isn't a huge deal.
Yeah. So I expect him to just hero power pass again and stay
think
with
we're
the same
dead.
line. Since
We
his
don't have
opponent
any
didn't have a
whirlwind
play
effects.
last turn, let's not give him a play by playing Truce over.
Right. I think
We
the
haven't
more
had,
there's no
Thor
plays,
Sen.
the more it favors the Paladin.
Yeah. We're getting towards the bottom of these players' decks. Demigod has 7 cards remaining. On the next turn, Dominus has 6 cards remaining.
Damn!
So,
Yep.
it's getting to the bottom. There's one of the outdoor peacekeepers we see here.
What
That's
a
actually a pretty good
no!
card because that sort of allows you to deal with just about anything. It's really flexible.
Taking the risk.
How
with
did
it.
you show?
Pretty curious
Ew.
why, if you're going to do it
Join
now, you
one
wouldn't
of
have done it
the,
last turn. Maybe he feels
I
if
always
his
do the
opponent
wrong
had
thing.
Harrison Jones, he would have played it last
78
turn.
on
But
there
that's
now.
kind of a strange
God.
read to have.
Yeah. It's an interesting read, but I guess it was right.
It worked out really well for him, yeah.
Oh, Sylvanas. Can't really play Sylvanas on this
Yeah,
board. It
Sylvanas
just gets
is
dealt with
awful
so
here.
easily.
I'm gonna scroll so
And
much.
these executes are awful. They're just never activated.
Which is all awful.
Because if this game goes to late game, it doesn't matter
maybe we
how
don't
many
play,
Paladin
maybe we don't play
minions
Patron now.
survived or stuck on the board.
I don't feel
Yeah.
because
qualified
his
to
hero
play
power
Patron.
makes infinite 1/1s.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. Zoo wasn't
And if you're
good.
Dominus here,
Flame
you're just
Waker?
thinking like,
What's good at the moment?
what is my win condition? Like,
What's good at the moment? What deck's
how
good
do
at the
I kill
moment?
this Paladin who has...
That's Control
he's-
Warrior.
He's gonna have 7 cards in hand next turn.
Yeah, because even if, like, he sort of
Why not
misses
my Control
opportunity
Warrior?
for an Alex if he wanted to play the aggressive route, because now it's given Demigod more time to draw into heal. It's also
Hi,
now he
Struy.
has a truce over champion.
Hi.
card, so if he
Hi,
outtrusts
everyone.
the
Say
swing
hi,
space,
bye.
puts it down to 12.
Hi,
He
buy
can heal back up to 14 with the truce over
I don't
swing,
think,
VGH, and then he doesn't have a
And
way to
heal.
kill him, even with Grom, Shield
think
Slam,
Control.
and the second Fiery War, or sorry, truce over, or yeah, second Fiery War Axe swing. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd go to 14, and Dominus would have 13.
So now all he has to do
In
right
general,
now is
we're
armor
seeing a
up,
lot
and
of
that's
just a mixture of stuff, and
How do you win?
so beta.
I think his win
So
condition
beta.
is trying to force his opponent to extend into a brawl with the Alex. Because after the Alex, you know your opponent has to big game hunter,
Yeah.
and your opponent has
Need
to heal,
decks that's
which both
good in
result in him
general
playing
against
minions.
everything,
So
but
if you just
we
keep armor
can't
passing,
have
keep
a
armor
deck
passing,
that's
maybe he
bad
commits
against
another
face
minion to
hunter.
try and put some pressure on, then you Alex, and then you're
Yeah.
able to activate Brawl
Handlock.
and maybe start chaining some things together.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I think maybe
I don't know. It's too
had
slow.
the second brawl not been
Needs something a bit faster than
a
Handlock.
tournament card like already shown,
Yeah.
Um,
like maybe if Demigod was unaware, I
Patron
think
is
maybe it could've
good,
caught him
but I
off,
can't
but
seem to get the combo
Demigod
off.
just seems
Probably because
aware
I'm
of
playing it wrong.
everything Dominus could do.
Flamewaker.
He's even going to play around Harrison off the top,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
thinking I don't need this weapon.
Freeze Mage.
I'm good.
Yeah.
We're
he's-
great.
He must have just counted up all the remaining threats and just thought, yeah, I don't need that.
This
What
does
else is
make
being
Sludge
run?
Belcher slightly better, but I mean Aldor is not bad on Sludge.
I don't know. I wish I had a True Silver right now.
But what
Yeah.
if that was a Harrison Jones off the top?
yeah.
Oh,
Play
Pilot
that
Shredder
Handlock.
is actually
See how that goes?
really great. It sticks in Brawl, like something comes out of it. It gives you something to play that's not
Maybe
one
got
of
one
your
anti-kill
reactive
bot.
cards.
Maybe we'll play the other version.
Yeah. If he plays Piloted Shredder,
I don't think he will.
Well,
yeah, I don't think he will either. But if he does, then it's a pretty solid
Oh,
Brawl.
gotta
and it's a
make
pretty
a-
solid Alex
Do you
into
need
Brawl.
two
yeah.
two
Getting
Shadow
so
Flames over
close
two Hellfires?
To the warrior needing to do something.
Yeah.
What would be better? at the
Having been in
moment?
this spot,
Probably
it's
Hellfire
kind
to
of
the patrons.
a spot where you're like, okay, let's say we just keep passing until the end of time, I win. So
There's the
why
Harrison
should
though.
I
I'm
be the guy to do something? I should make my opponent do it. And once he does stuff, like your hand is just answers for
Double dart
days.
one?
there's no weapons left.
Yeah, no weapons left.
Yep.
The
So
Harrison
I
Jones.
think
Yeah.
maybe just play it, and that way if it can stick, you can Alex next turn get an 8, put him to 7, and maybe he can't heal up efficiently enough.
That looks to be the game plan.
Yeah. The only possibility
Alright,
of
let's try,
a weapon being left is muster for battle.
Right, and
but
you don't want to get that at this point.
yeah, and I think we've sort of ruled it out. He's only got what 4 cards remaining,
Something like that, yeah.
and I don't think we've seen a muster for battle from Demigod
So-
at all.
You're gonna play Heroes of the
Got
Storm later?
Dex.
We
What?
can do.
At
We
least
can plan
this
to
deck.
do Heroes of the Storm
His
stream
other deck is
tomorrow.
Freeze Mage
maybe.
and
If
Warrior, I
you
believe.
people would like
The
that.
Dragon Warrior.
Dragon
yeah.
Warrior. He's
Can
got
you people?
very anti-control, non-anti-aggro, and it was like a perfect read.
Wow,
this turn.
just as I switched to
Very
Handlock.
few aggro players, almost all of them, all a few of them got swept up
Ooh,
in
what a
groups.
nasty hand
I'd
as
say
well.
Phone Tap is probably, the
Mountain
most
Giant.
aggressive lineup we have left with the Mech Shaman in it.
And that's his whole lineup isn't
Right, his whole
aggressive.
lineup is aggressive. He
Might
has
see
a
Jiraxis
Druid, Mech
today.
Shaman, and
mid-range Druid,
Oh.
mid-range Hunter,
You face
and a Mech Shaman.
Jiraxis.
yeah.
And our Lord of the
So
Burning
here as
Neutron.
Demigod.
This game,
Dude,
Demigod
you're
vs.
afraid that
Dominus,
Alex
has gone on
comes
for
down,
bloody
yeah.
ages.
Sylvanas too passive. Maybe
Is
you
it
gotta
still the
Aldor
same
with
They
it.
might
game?
have to Aldor.
Yeah.
I haven't been following
Kinda
it.
worried about
Jesus Christ.
other creatures.
Sylvanas sort of protects you against Brawl a tiny bit, because if your opponent wins, you get his creature, but
Or a 1-1.
yeah. Or a 1/1 survive.
So you get a 1-1 and then the 1-2 slime.
He did wait a really long time to figure out what to do.
He's not going to go with Sylvanas
I might have shreddered there though.
just to have something.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
maybe you do need to like commit a little more. You do have still plenty of answers.
Brawl does not look like it's coming out.
Yeah, I really doubt it would. So 2 cards left for Dombus.
Dominus was expecting a lot more aggro. We saw the Zombie Chow in his Druid. We see the Unstable Ghoul in
Yeah.
his Warrior.
Wild face dwarf.
Maybe a good choice for his groups, but moving onward today,
Yeah.
Fucking
and in this match especially,
do not
We
like.
had that
not going to
conversation
pan out.
about the difference
deck we're
between
facing
bringing
at
a
the
deck
moment.
to win the groups and bringing decks to win the
To win the tournament.
I'd like to see Sylvanas come down here. We just saw he had to really inefficiently answer both of those
Wow.
5-drops. Maybe
Yeah,
with
I would have loved
Sylvanas.
Sylvanas here.
Yeah, pushes him to do that equality combo, and then you can start dropping your bombs.
Lay on Hands is like his 27th card,
Yeah,
That's
he's got 3
unfortunate.
cards left.
so
He'll bottom out if he uses Lay on Hands.
yeah, really bad time to draw it. Warrior's fatiguing first now though,
Yeah,
which isn't too relevant. In fatigue matchups, it's not really who fatigues first, but rather who can stick
one creature.
constantly attacking minion on the board after all is said and done.
Yeah. What's his last card?
Oh,
Wow.
Doomsayer comes out.
And that's awful for him. I mean, he can execute it, but do
That's huge for the Paladin.
you feel good doing that? Do you feel good executing a Doomsayer?
I don't know.
Well, you got to think about how many activators you have for execute too.
Right.
How many things can
Point.
you actually execute?
Demigod actually looked distressed
He's
at
thinking
first, but
about
then
it.
Demigod realized, hey, maybe that's actually pretty good.
And it's really good. You might have to execute it.
Already got our first Doomsayer.
So last
This
card
gets no
Acolyte.
Don't
damage,
have any taunts,
basically.
it's really
Is he
annoying.
gonna Alex himself later this game? Is that the plan now?
Try and win in fatigue that way. It could
Oh,
work.
Wow,
wow.
that's
Emperor's pretty good.
pretty good, yeah.
Is the last card in Dominus's deck, is it Acolyte of Pain?
Is it?
It might be. We've only seen one.
I think it might be. That would be a terrible last card.
That's awful.
It's unplayable.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's not. It's not.
It's not?
He's played both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He played the one and got True Silvered, and the other one he played as you guys fight it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, okay. Woo. That would have been awful for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks
We'll
like-
see what it is.
Shield
That's
block.
bad too. That does nothing.
Yeah.
You can't play that. In fatigue matchup, shield block actually loses you health.
Yeah.
He's like execute here and then maybe
And
Alex.
this is where the 1/1s just destroy you.
Oh,
And he's
man.
gonna try and stop it like prematurely, but
Need a taunt.
he has 3 threats to win the game. With 3 threats, a brawl, somehow he has to enable that execute.
Oh, man.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you hear a guy in the background there just going,
Bottom
yeah!
deck. That was ridiculous.
That's one of the best cards in a fatigue matchup.
Yeah. You're gonna gain 2 more tools to use to help you stabilize the board.
And it's one of the hardest things.
Yeah!
My opponent has 8 cards. I have
Oh,
7.
shit.
I'm not in the greatest
What
spot.
the hell?
I think, you know, if I play
Double
these
kill
cards
command.
perfectly, maybe
Yeah.
I can come out on top. And then your opponent just plays a card that
Today's
generates
not my day.
There were cards that weren't in their
Weren't
deck.
I was
in
making
their
so
deck.
much progress last
deck.
night.
Yeah.
right.
It helps when
Crazy.
you're using every card.
God damn it.
I would say we're patron.
I don't know, I don't put
Alright,
it off
here we
well.
go.
He's just gonna play it, yeah.
There's a couple of
Yeah.
useless cards that he could get.
Double battle rage.
Double
Inner Rage, not the greatest.
Shield block.
Shield
Battle
Slam.
Rage, Shield Block.
Slam. Wow, there's a lot of really
Patron
bad
it is,
ones.
then why not?
Yeah.
There's some good
We
ones.
could try
though.
to control
let's
as
see.
well.
Upgrade.
That's not bad.
Cleave is okay too.
Wow.
They're playable.
He's gonna owl that. I don't know about owling that.
Surprised by this play.
Well, we said there was no more weapons left in the deck,
Yeah.
but we didn't
Another
account
priest.
for Nefarian.
Yeah,
Damn
upgrade's
it.
basically just gonna be 3 damage.
Yeah.
So that's not the biggest deal. You can use it. You could go Equality Wild Pyromancer upgrade to save your Wild Pyromancer. And he's got 1 card left.
Cleave gets pretty big value
And
here.
Sludge Belcher is
Belcher.
just insane in fatigue.
Oh yeah, look at this
And
cleave.
Cleave!
Bottom 3 cards: Emperor Thorsan,
I don't see how you can. You
Nefarian.
can't lose if you're the Paladin.
Sludge Belcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paladin's got him. As long
This
as he
is it.
doesn't overextend every creature in his hand onto the board.
And he's just gonna upgrade and start swinging.
Hit him in the
Yeah,
face
you might
for
as well.
1.
Get him.
Wow.
Hey, he didn't play Lights Justice in his deck, but he got one anyway.
Shit, they always do those, don't
Everybody overrides the last
It's
charge
okay.
of Light's Justice anyway.
So
You might as well
the-
only have 3.
The Owl's gone. I mean, Sylvanas going to challenge this.
I mean, it's just gonna take a 1/2 though. He just trades into it.
Could do that. Could ignore it.
Could.
Like, why should you be the one to trade in?
It could
I
brawl,
guess brawl.
and like steal your Belcher would be a bummer.
they? Jesus.
Alright.
Would be a
And you
bummer.
could probably lose from an
Right.
unlosable spot.
Okay. So
Yeah, I
you
think we
should
should trade.
play as safe as possible if you're Demigod here.
Yeah, there's no reason to take a risk here.
From the choices that he's made so far this
Ooh,
match, it
good
seems
draw.
like he has a lot of experience with the matchup. And is there any way that Dominus can win? What decisions does
What if you
Demigod have
played
to
your own
make?
Sylvanas? Then
then
you're
you-
not even weak to brawl.
When's
Because
Trump's
your
game?
Sylvanas goes off second. So
Huh?
whatever he takes.
When's Trump's game?
But that's your last
he could
threat.
take
What?
your Sylvanas.
He
2
got
games
my
after
dev
this.
spike, you
There's
piece
a
of
bad
shit.
Risk.
Look,
So this is. He's gonna go with Alex.
He's gonna Alex face.
Juicy up the brawl, maybe.
He can just trade everything in the BG.
Yeah.
So he decides to
Against the tech,
Alex
yeah.
now that he's fatiguing, thinking, okay, I want him to take more. I want this fatigue damage to be
You might
relevant.
leave it.
because if
Let's
you
hope
don't
that he
Alex
triggers
him,
it later on when he
every
tries to get
fatigue
past
damage
the
he
time.
takes down to 15 means nothing.
Dom just got shit on. I do prefer
You should
Demigod.
trade in some
I do prefer
1/1s.
Demigod.
Yeah, before the
Well,
equality.
it doesn't matter how you do it.
He's the guy
actually.
from
They
Hawaii
get
or
taken
something.
either
isn't
way.
And actually, this way he gets the weapon one off. if he
I
wants
wouldn't
to.
say Dom just got shat on.
He does only have 8 healing.
Yeah, 8 is not much in fatigue, but he Dom just doesn't have a way to activate the Grom.
Yeah. They're gonna weapon off whatever it gets stolen, and it's not the taunt, which is pretty important.
Yeah.
It's gonna play the heal bot and only the heal bot, I think.
Yeah. And it seems weird taking it at free damage like that, but if he did it differently, he would have had to
He's
trade in
gonna
more of his
attack
creatures.
this
And actually
guy.
preserving the 1/1s is really important.
And if this gets the brawl, then I don't see how Demigod loses. But if it doesn't get the brawl, how does Demigod lose?
He
Because
does.
2 of the cards in Domdus's hand are absolutely useless. Maybe
The
he should have
attacks and
executed
rages
that
that gets
Doomsayer.
+3, that's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
5, so I'm gonna take
He
7
needs an
damage.
activator for this Grom
This
to
needs
even have a
to be
chance.
Worst brawl result as well. The 3/3 comes out of it, so
Well, like we said, the cruel tasks were thrown out on 1/1s in fear of Quartermaster, which wasn't in the deck.
Yeah. That's not good. Otherwise, he would win this game if he had a
And
Cruel Task.
did it? Yeah, it looks like it pretty much
So 7
mattered.
damage is 9
He could
damage,
have gone
isn't
for
it?
much
Fucking
more
hell.
aggressive lines in this late game.
and now he can just throw all his creatures out, set up for the kill next turn.
Just saving a big game hunter, thinking, okay,
yeah.
Hell,
If
5
somehow-
fatigue damage.
you know, I get grommed and this board gets cleared.
Yeah.
I can big game hunter it, and that's game.
Even if he
anyway.
had the Cruel Taskmaster, it's only 12, and then there's 4 fatigue, so the Paladin would live at 1 health.
But he could have taken, I think, more aggressive
yeah,
lines.
yeah, yeah.
this
All
game.
right.
Alex earlier delivered more weapon damage to the
Good
face,
play.
sort of thing.
Well, that was a super intense game, but Demigod
looks
the
like
Paladin
a
is going
dog.
to tie it up
Huh?
1-1.
You know, like,
Yeah, Demigod, that match was essentially a long time of him just asserting his dominance.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in
Like-
control the whole game.
Right.
yeah. And you guys have been in these situations before. Does that play into your mindset at all? You play a super long, a super intense game, and you lose. Like, does that affect you mentally?
If you feel you made a mistake, it'll really get you. So if Domdus is thinking, why did I play around Quartermaster? Like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Then it really
Oh,
gets
that's
you.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
I've played fatigue games that I've messed up at the very, very end, and it hurts. But if
Yeah.
you think you played fine and that it was mostly the matchup that got you, and you're basically just seeing, can I win? It's not a huge deal. You're still 1-1, feeling all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you kind of have to take it. You can't dread on like small little mistakes because those matchups, one little mistake,
where's
That's
Crit?
it.
He's
There's
won
so
that
many
jumper
turns, so many
3
opportunities
days in
to
a
shut
row.
hindsight's always
Oh,
20/20.
Chucky.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you just
filthy
gotta let it
bastard.
go, move on to the next game, and just forget about it, and just say, yeah, it's a bad matchup. I wasn't supposed to win that. Now, how am I going to win on paper here?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
surprisingly, Paladin has, I believe, the highest win rate out of any class. tournament.
Would not surprise me. Paladin has been very dominant, lining up into some really great matchups. We didn't see as much Patron as we expected.
Vicious Syndicate
Lots of
versus
Control
Team
Warriors
Magic
is
Amy.
Another good matchup. Good against Druid. Pretty good against Handlock. Really great against these mid-range hunters. Like, Paladin might be the deck of the tournament, which is pretty surprising to say.
All right. Well, here's the tough part for Domdus is going to be
You want
finding a
some?
win,
I'll give it ya.
with that handlock. We said it earlier. That's sort of the deck that he needs to come out on top with.
Well, if he can get a win with that Handlock, getting a win with Control Warrior against Freeze Mage, not the toughest thing in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
It made the matchup a bit better for Freeze Mage with the inclusion of the Emperor Thorsan. They can do things that they could never do in the past.
Yeah. Regardless of the matchups we get for the rest of this match, this is going to be a long, grindy match.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have
good.
4 control decks left. We started out with 5 and a Druid. And Druid's gone. Paladin's gone. It's 2 Control Warriors, a Handlock, and a Freeze Mage now.
Alrighty. Time to grind.
He's got the shield block and the shield slam, so he has an answer to the first threat, which is really, really, really important in this matchup.
Yep.
Also has the dragon as the
Frostbite next
activator
turn
for the
along with
Blackman
Emperor
Corruptor. Not sure
Thorsan.
how great that's going to be. a
He's drawing a lot of
matchup
cards.
against handlock, but you know.
TJ, you seem really excited about these dragons.
And then if I
I
do
love
that,
dragons.
yeah,
Yeah.
Deathspite will be quite good because in combination with Thorsan, if
I
he
love
mind
Warrior.
controls, then we can do Thorsan.
So you love
Kill off
Dragon
Thorsan.
Warrior.
Mhm.
He's
No.
gonna get discount on
I
his
only love
cards,
them
but-
separately.
Ah,
Yeah.
Still got another one in hand.
not too much happening.
Yeah. This is a matchup that a lot of people say it depends on how you built your deck before the match even started. Depends who's favored. Things like double big game hunter in the warrior list can help a lot, but I don't think a lot of people are really on that.
Yeah.
Demigod specifically said his decks counter handlock.
Yeah, it's interesting that he didn't choose to armor up on turn 3 there. He played the Acolyte instead. If he had armored up, then he could shield block, shield
Be
slam
able
with
to shield
Drake.
block, shield slam, yep.
Killing the first threat's usually a really big deal. Now that Drake's going to be able to knock off all of his armor, and
I think I need to get Baron if I'm going to be a warrior.
Oh,
You need to get what?
He doesn't have a
Baron
great way to
Geddon.
enable execute. You don't
Yeah.
feel great trading in your
It's not
Acolyte.
really used
but
much.
at least he has a way to.
In
Yeah.
Warrior,
Yeah,
Warrior,
XD was
yeah, it
definitely
was
a
the
good draw.
wafting.
Yeah,
yeah.
It used to be used a
Yeah, I
lot.
don't mind this at all.
But
Preserves 2 armor,
nowadays,
which
it's
isn't
like,
bad.
I don't know.
That 2 armor is going to be super important.
Oh
Man, so we see the Therian and
Second one.
Jiraxis.
Yeah. Since he has that 2 armor, he
You
can
have a
shield
BGH
block,
somewhere
armor,
as well.
point, shield slam, kill a giant.
TJ, what would you say the odds are that Jiraxis gets sacrificial pack?
You cheeky
Oh
bastard.
man.
Thank you.
Is it like 14% or something?
Is it that high? That wow.
You see that? No, maybe it's less. Maybe
I'm
it's like
hyped now.
8. I have
I
no
want to
idea.
see it.
Someone
Why am I just throwing out random numbers?
Yeah, I'm just
14, maybe 8, could be 6 and a
It
half.
sounds like you with your Mishas. You're like, yeah, there were 8, you know, maybe 15.
Someone should tweet at the show
Yeah,
the
definitely.
percent chance for sack pack to
At
happen.
ESL Hearthstone, use the hashtag HLS if you know the percentage of sacrificial pack from this variant. Or if you want to do the math real quick.
Smooth transition there. So, yeah,
Uh-huh.
the handlock actually the one answering threats right now. But that works in the Warriors' favor. I mean, I don't think Demigod has anything like Dominus's double brawl, which would be maybe good in this matchup.
I think we save that.
Yeah.
Wow, lots of bombs drawn already by the control warrior.
Yeah.
You do that here.
So this matchup is sort of
I
just
can't
the
execute.
warrior playing reactively for most of the game.
Yeah,
Yep.
reactively usually until they start that big bomb train, and then
Yeah, he
I'll be
has,
able to
kind of
leave for
reverse.
him
He
one
has
turn,
every
which
bomb
I
in
think
his
I might
deck,
be able
I
to tell you this.
yeah, so you just play them sort of in order, and then the handlock's forced to kill every
that
single
a
one because
healing?
they're afraid of just getting Grom bursted
Right.
down if they leave
He's-
any of them alive.
He's missing Dr. Boom, which I would
He
assume
got battle
plays.
rage.
He's got a lot of
Cheeky
huge threats. That's one thing about Dragon. You said a lot of times they just change around the anatomy of the top back end of their deck, like the high drops. But it makes it so it feels like they just have so many powerful creatures.
There's not even a big game hunter
Use that
in
lethal.
Handlock's hand yet.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him to start reacting to these
7,
threats, especially since he
9.
didn't initiate his own threat
Yeah.
this turn. So Demigod's free to just drop Baron Geddon
Yeah, I think
or whatever.
it's interesting because Alex dropping your
Possibly
opponent
not.
to 15 does enable those molds, enables Molten Shadow Flame.
Oh
stuff
my
like
god,
that.
no, then again.
So
What?
it's
What do you-
not something people are
Might be
thrilled to do in
lethal.
this matchup.
Dominic just tapped with 9 cards, which means he had to play the Sunfear Protector. Do you agree with putting that pressure out and that wall out early, or do you really need those Sunfear Protectors for later on, like poster access to guard against Grom?
I think he really wanted to just free up his hand because he has no threats.
Yeah, he's got to find
He needs
some
to
threats.
tap.
Yeah,
Bloody
he
hell.
has to.
He was at 10 cards. That's why he played it.
Well, yeah, he tapped.
Yeah,
and he was
yeah.
gonna have 10
Well,
cards.
Well, you
and
need to
have
keep
play
tapping.
Sunfear.
You have to draw.
Yeah.
And you have to get in
Threats.
Molten Giant range because the warrior
gonna
can
get
just get
3
into a
more.
position where they
You
can
don't have enough
control your
room on the
Molten Giants,
board for
basically.
that.
They
Yeah.
never have to put you in range to play them before they can just set up to kill you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to be
Druid,
quiet.
you can just like build up a board, float you at 19 or something health, and then eventually draw into combo.
Oh.
And the Harrison Jones, we got just threw that out. Says,
That was a waste
I'm
of a
not
lot.
gonna Harrison
But
your
apart
dragon,
from, I
so
suppose
you're
you'll get a
never
bit more
gonna
damage
win
on
this
there.
match. And even if you do,
Okay.
I'll have sacrificial pact.
Didn't have enough time.
Hopefully.
Oh, I'll be so happy if that happens, CJ.
Yeah, I like just getting the Harrison out there
Is that
because you have
lethal?
so many high quality bombs in your hand and,
And
you're just
another
looking to bomb train.
super weak turn. And no big game hunter.
Yeah.
You know, no removal.
I would not
If
be
you
Might be
just
nice,
point
huh?
down an 8/8, it'd be great.
Yeah.
It was!
Really point out a fairy in here, else you skip
Wow.
the ball.
Yeah.
That was
Look,
great!
it's better, though. It's not bad.
Yeah, point joining Ysera here is insane.
Yeah. Siphon Soul is not really too common in Handlock at the moment.
Your opponent can't Sylvanas
good.
Shadow Flame yet.
Believe we only have one player who's running Handlock in the tournament with Siphon Soul, and it's Roger.
I believe Trump
Right.
used to run one.
I think
Oh, does
I'm
he?
I don't know
gonna
if I saw
call
this
the
tournament,
stream
but-
for now. Okay.
We know for sure.
Um,
that
Roger
Roger
definitely has
Yeah.
Siphon Soul.
What
we will
time?
see a
Oh, I
coin
don't know. Do you want to stream
drop.
some
I
Heroes of the
imagine
Storm
it's
tomorrow,
Ysera.
Ethan?
Ysera looks to be the best
May as
one.
well.
This is the turn
May as well.
before
If we do
Sylvanas
play a bit
Shadow
later
Flame.
on, we'll probably stream a bit later on.
It's
Maybe,
only dead,
maybe.
like you said,
If
to
we do,
Siphon
that is.
Soul.
But
If Ysera lives
otherwise,
multiple
enjoy
turns
your
in
evening.
Handlock,
Have a good weekend.
you get so many dream
And
cards
we'll
that
probably be
your-
back
your
tomorrow.
kill range
Make sure you check on the
becomes
website
insane.
and go and register on the
can't
website.
play
What,
around
what
two
stuff are you
nightmares.
playing? Oh, we're on EU.
Alright, let's see what he
But
gets.
yeah, make sure you go and check on the website.
Best.
www.
Oh,
No, it's just
Oh,
Dwarfy.com.
wow.
Still got
Yeah.
the Easter there.
That makes
Uh,
it so that
so yeah.
post Draxus.
Check on
the
there
current
and
post
you'll
Draxus
see when we're
guy-
next going
yeah.
live.
You-
New
and
stuff
like that,
that's
Harrison
on there,
Jones, he
things that's
basically
coming up,
played
stuff
that
like
very
that. Make
confident
sure you
that
guys
his
subscribe on
opponent wouldn't be able
YouTube's
to
as
get
well.
Draxus
Okay.
off. He was
Be
right.
good people
Yeah,
and subscribe on
Draxus
YouTube's.
So
Very
now,
likely won't be coming down.
Alright, thank you for
what are the
watching.
chances that he
Hope you
gets
enjoyed.
sacrificial
See you
pact
later.
to